Greetings, everyone, and greetings to all the nature spirits that have also they're on the call. Literally, basically, they woke me up at 5 o'clock this morning, bastards. How does it get any better than that? What they asked me to create with them was a short telly class to invite you all to a different possibility. Now, this has blown my brain because we've got almost 1,200 people on the registered for this, and it took 2 days to do it. Like that, just 48 hours. Fabio and Paula, we were looking at how to create the big class in Brazil about talking to earth spirits or receiving earth spirits. And we thought we'd do this promotional video. So, and then it just suddenly went ballistic and worldwide. Why? Because we were willing to ask the question and be in the question. And since the 9 trannies that Gary, the founder of Access Consciousness, and Dr. Dane here, co-founder, since then I've noticed that everybody that's been in that class, weird, wacky stuff has really been showing up in their realities, bizarre stuff, like upgrades to first class, and all of that sort of thing. And this is one of those things that has been showing up in my reality. So to have that number of people in 2 days is not really a possibility in this reality, but in the world of spirit, in the world of consciousness, anything is possible. So what's been, if you've not done any Access Consciousness, I will be using the Access Consciousness clearing statement, which is good, bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. And this body of work, Talk to the Entities, is a branch of Access that is headed up by a lady called Shannon O'Hara. So that's just for the newbie people. And if you want to know more about the Access Clearing Statement, you can go to www. One too many W's there. theclearingstatement.com. And one of the things that we've been looking at intensely in the last few months in Access, or probably about a month, is this idea of definition. Now, we all know that any time that you define something, you create a limitation, because definition alone, by definition, is a limitation. Yeah. So if you say all oranges are the color orange, it means it's very difficult for you to be able to perceive any other color orange. So, like those beautiful red, blood red oranges that are around, they won't show up in your reality with so much ease. You're limiting your possibility. If we use definition with children, and I was a teacher for many years, a lot of teachers like to have, when the kids are painting trees, for instance, the bark has to be brown and the leaves are green. But from a child's point of view, they don't live a defined reality. So their trees can look any way that they want. And do we ever stop to actually have a look at what it is that they're perceiving? Because they're perceiving without any definition. And then we come along and we go, as adults, as teachers, hey, look, that's you can't have a red tree. Oh no. And yet, how many of us see the beauty in autumn and the beauty in the reds of the Japanese cherry trees and things like that? And the more and more and more that we are willing to live an undefined life, the more we can receive. Now, my mum, she's big into fairies, yeah. And when I was a kid, we had this book that was almost a meter tall, and it was written by it was a picture book, and the pictures in there were painted by a very famous person. I can't remember her name now. They do plates and all sorts of things with her, and she's written a lot about fairies. But from that, I bought the definition of nature spirits looking a particular way. Yeah. Fairies having wings, Tinkerbell. I think that was probably one of the first movies my mum ever took me to, was Peter Pan. And they have wands and they have magic coming out of their wands, and, you know, magic farts and all of that sort of stuff. That's a joke. And you can laugh if you want. Nobody's laughing at my jokes. Who's that? I love you, Frederic. I don't know where you're from, but yeah, thank you for laughing. And that's the other thing, when we live from that space of no definition, our sense of humor can get better. You know, we can laugh at just about anything. Yeah. And this is one of the things with living with the world of nature spirits, is nature spirits tend to be happy because they're undefined. They don't have any rules and regulations, unlike this particular reality. And they're very curious, and they like to push, and they like to look at you. And when you walk down the street and your head is down and you're in your mobile phone, and the world is passing you by, and you bump into a pole, I mean, it's, for them, it's very funny, because, you know, it's like, wow, that's really funny, but they're not laughing at you. It's just that it's like they don't have any definition of what a mobile phone is or what you're doing. They're in total, complete allowance of your stupidity. So, because they don't have any definitions. So, we're gonna start this telecourse. Oh, what I was talking about, the book. Okay, so just to finish that story off, is that book. So I was brought up about what a nature spirit looked like, what a fairy looked like, and of course, when I started to talk to the entities many years ago with Shannon, I had all these definitions of what a nature spirit would look like, what a fairy would look like, and I couldn't see them. And of course, I had to go to the wrongness of me. Oh yeah, we have some French or something in the background. How does it get any better than that? I'm just going to mute you all.
Não, assim, solta.
So I had to go to the wrongness of me. And of course, every time that we go to the wrongness of ourselves, because we don't perceive an energy, or we don't perceive a nature spirit the way that it's painted in the book, or the way that your mother has decided it looks like, yeah, then what? I'm sorry, I'm just looking at Iram from Turkey, and as she's translating me, she's doing all my actions, and I just love it. I got a little bit distracted there. How does it get? Do I really look that weird? Oh my God, yes I do. How does it get any better than that? So you go to the wrongness of you, and of course, every judgment that you have creates another barrier, and that stops you from receiving, or limits your receiving of the nature spirits yet again. And so we have these definitions. Then, because we don't perceive it the way that others perceive it, we go to the wrongness of ourselves. So we've got the barrier of definition, the barrier of the wrongness of ourselves, and it then becomes polarized. Yeah. And you know, back in the 70s, the sunglasses, polarized glasses, were all the rage. And the way that the polarization works is because all the molecules are lined up one way. So they're all in a line like this. So they're plus minus, plus minus, plus minus, plus minus. And so it cuts down the light by 50%. So it keeps the light out by up to 50%. Now, if you take a polarized lens and you hold one this way and you hold one the other way, you've now got two filters, and it cuts out the light coming in horizontally, and it cuts out the light coming in vertically, and it's totally black. So there is just no possible way of receiving. So you have this layer of definition, then you have this layer of judgment because you can't perceive it from somebody else's definition, and you don't perceive anything. And then you think that you're all alone here on this planet and the nature spirits don't love you and you might as well go away and die. How many of you have had that show up in your life at least once? Everything that is, can we now destroy and uncreate it all? Good, but I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. It doesn't mean anything. Gary and Dane do it because they have this flow of energy. I just do it because I probably should have been born a Latin and I like to talk with my hands. And everything that just brought up, can we now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short boys and beyonds. So I wanted to start off this Zoom by A, giving you some background information, which we've done. Checklist. B is I wanted to do it back to front because I want to start off with you. How many of you have a definition of who, what, when, how you be? And everything that is, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, iron, short boys, meals. How many of you define yourself by the country that you live in? Oh, I'm Brazilian. Therefore, I have to have... Oh, no, I'm not going to do that joke. I'm Turkish. I'm French. I'm Japanese. Now, each one of those cultures has a different way, or a different definition of nature spirits. So if you have a definition of you by the culture that you live in, it means that it limits your receiving of the nature spirits from any other culture, anywhere else on the planet. And everything that is, oh, is that a nature spirit on there? Did you hear that giggling? Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short boys and beyonds. That was amazing. Just what a contribution that child was, and whoever had their audio on in that 10 seconds was just to that point. Yeah. Like that.
Agora volta lá e vê se mudou.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know what you just said, but it sounded very sexy. I'm just going to mute you all again. Cool. So, yeah. Okay. So, note to self, just wanted to talk about the language of nature spirits. Maybe if we get time, maybe someone can remind me about that if I don't get there. So all the definitions that you have about defining you by your culture, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short boys and beyonds. How many of you define yourself by your gender? Yeah. You know, like you are a man, you are a woman, you are a transvestite. You are transsexual, you are asexual. All of these ways that we define ourselves limit our receiving of nature spirits and everything else. So everywhere where you've defined yourself by your gender and your agendas, will you now destroy and uncreate all of that? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short boys and beyonds. Like, how many of you have then taken, I'm a human being, I have a gender, I am a man, and then you project that onto particular nature spirits, fairies or women. Like, I just realized I have this crazy point of view. I have this crazy definition that fairies are women. But is that true? Do they have a gender? I mean, do they even have a willy or a vagina? These are all questions that we're willing to ask in Talk to the Entities. Everything that just brought up or let down, can we now destroy and uncreate it all? Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short boys and beyonds. So what other definitions do you have of you that are keeping you from receiving from nature spirits? And everything that is, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short boys and beyonds. And how many projected definitions are being projected at you daily. There's a man here, I was going to touch it, Rodrigo. I don't know where Rodrigo is. He's a man, he has a beard, and everybody sees him walking down the street. He's a man, he has a beard. He is now the bearded man. He is defined as a bearded man, you know, like, and then if he shaves that beard off, you won't even be able to see him. Yeah, everything that is, can we now destroy and uncreate it? Oh, good, bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and youngs. All the definition of who, what, when, how you be that are projected at you daily, that you buy as real and true, or resist and react to, would you now be willing to recant, rescind, revoke, reclaim, renounce, announce, destroy, and uncreate all of that? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. How many definitions do you have of your body that keeps you from receiving from the planet? And everything that is, would you now be willing to destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. Now, for me, like nature spirits, it's simple. They're these elementals. They're the defined energies, not defined. They're these energies that contribute to the creation of a sustainable planet, of a conscious planet. And whenever we try to define them, then we limit their capacity to create and generate, just the way that whenever anybody projects something at you, they are trying to limit who and what you be. Yeah. So everywhere where you have been projecting your definitions onto the nature spirits that keep the planet locked up and unable to create a different reality, the reality that we've been asking for, where magic is not just a possibility but a way of living, can we now destroy and uncreate all of that? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and youngs. How many definitions of who, what, when, why, and how you be do you have that keep you from receiving? And everything that is, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and youngs. Rodrigo just got a phone call from his hairdresser. Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. Okay, cool. How many definitions of who, what, when, why, how you be that keep you from being? And everything that is, will you now destroy and uncreate all of that? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. Oh, that's like another layer. Another layer of poo. Let's do that one again. How many? Wow, that hurts my head. How many definitions of who, what, why, where, and how you be that's keeping you from being? And everything that is, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, short, boys, and beyonds. How many definitions do you have of who, what, why, and how you be that keeps you from receiving you in totality across all time, space, dimensions, and realities? And everything that doesn't allow that, can we now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, ice, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay, cool. I see that all the discussion is in Brazilian or French, or I can't read any of it. How does it get any better than that? That's really cool. Do we have any questions? Whilst you're thinking of your question, just a little ad. So we're doing in Portuguese, we're doing next week, we're doing a, I can't remember the name of it, something to do with Earth Spirits of the Earth class. It will be in Portuguese and it will be in English. It will have live translation just like this. And then the week after that, I'll possibly expand that out to include the rest of the planet. So if you're interested in that, we haven't got all the links available right now, but we will be sending those out with the recording of this class. So, end of ad. Any question that anybody wanted to ask, that if they asked it, would allow us to create an undefinable reality with nature spirits.
Liam, it's Lucy.
Hi, Lucy. Lucy from Australia.
I am. Yep. Yeah, mate.
Yeah, mate. How you going, love?
Pretty good. How you going, love?
I'm good. Yeah.
You're going to talk about the language of the nature spirits, and also for me, you know, I've always had this capacity with entities, nature spirits, whatever you want to call them, but every now and then I just have this really silly block happening. You know,
Okay.
I drop down my barriers and blah blah, and
Can you just stop there? Because
yes,
you notice anybody else on the call, if you notice, it was blah 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 block. Okay, cool. And block sort of lights up. Now, for me, that's where the energy is sitting. The block. The block is everywhere where you are unwilling to perceive a different reality. So it's not a rightness or a wrongness. It's just that you've come up against something that you cannot define.
Oh.
It doesn't fit in your reality.
Oh, can I get rid of that?
Everyone else can, but you can't. So,
well, that's stupidity, isn't it? Why would you create a block for that if you have the capacity?
Well, no, it's not stupid. Notice how you want to go to the wrongness of it. That creates another limitation. The block is actually, yay! A block! Awesome! How does it get any better than this? It means that you're just about, that if you choose it, you're just about to step into something that's undefined. That's so totally new to you that you have no words for it. You have no way of defining that particular energy. It's never showed up in your reality before. You know, like you've been around for 4 trillion fucking years. Yeah. So having a new energy show up is not a wrongness. It's like, maybe this is what you have been asking for.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay. So all you've got to, like, you're correct. You're doing the right thing, Lucy. Lower your barriers and receive whatever that is. Yeah. And ask the nature spirits, ask the universe, can you show me in a way that I can get it, because I'm stupid.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And everything that is, can we now destroy and uncreate it? Or you want to be blonde with the nature spirit.
Look, that's really hard, Liam.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
You are right.
I know.
Okay. Everything that is, can we now destroy and uncreate it? Or good, bad, right, wrong, pop, corner, short, boys and beyonds. So all the definitions, see, this is the thing, as we start losing those definitions, our mind, this reality, and through our mind, it tries to throw everything that it possibly can to stop us from receiving.
Okay.
So when that block comes up, it's not a wrongness. It's a new energy that's available to you. What is that, and what can I do with it? Yeah. What is it? Stay in the question. What is it, and what can I do with it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you. And language of the nature spirits, please.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So thank you for reminding me about that. The language of nature spirits. It's like we've got lots of different languages on here, and some people, and I don't speak Turkish, for instance. I don't even know if it's called Turkish. Maybe it's called something else. Maybe it's something like, you know, like in Israel, they don't speak Israeli, they speak Yiddish. I mean, Turkish. But Turkish, I don't speak it. So I have to be, I almost have to be totally undefined when I'm with somebody who is Turkish. Because I don't speak their language, but I do speak the language of energy. And that is the first language. Now, nature spirits, how many definitions have you brought about how nature spirits communicate, or what their language is, and everything that is, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, eyes, short, boys, and beyonds. Now, you know, like with somebody from Turkey, if I want to communicate with them, I'm going to have to go with the language of energy first and foremost, and then ask to be shown. Okay, so I want to know how to get from A to B. You know, so I've got to stay in the question. You know, how universe, can you show me somebody that will be willing to speak the language of energy so I can find where such and such a street is? Yeah, and then just stop and allow yourself to receive that energy. Most of the now, some of you will literally physically be able to hear them, and if you do, that's great, but don't limit yourself to that. You know, ask what else is possible, what is even beyond that. Because the language of energy and nature spirits and the universe is like a nature spirit can download a package of energy like a zip file on your computer. You know, a zip file is when you take very, very big files and you put them in a smaller file, and then you can download it quicker from the internet. Yeah. Now that's more like the way that a nature spirit can give you information and awareness and talk to you. They can download that zip file, and then you can unfold the zip file and start to play with those energies. Well, what we tend to do is we tend to go, oh, here's the zip file. I can't read it. Oh, fuck. I can't talk with nature spirits. Answer, conclusion. Rather than going, okay, so how do I unfold this zip file? How do I open this zip file? And I've got all this coming out of my mouth right now. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. So what energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be that would allow you to be the transliteration that you truly be? And everything that doesn't allow that, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, eyes, short, boys, and beyonds. The more that you're willing to be that energy of transliteration, that is understanding all languages. We're not just talking about Turkish, Portuguese, French. We're talking about that languages of energy, the languages of nature spirits, the languages of the earth, the languages of the trees, the language of the computer. There's so many different languages. Yeah. So if you start to ask that question, what energy, space, and consciousness can me and my body be? Oh, I should do it in proper English. I am sorry, I was grammatically incorrect. What energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be that would allow you to be the easy for me to say, transliteration you truly be? And everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, know, and be that 24/7, will you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, eyes, short, boys, meals. Now, don't run that one, and don't run the how many definitions do you have of who, why, what, when, and how do I be? With blah, blah, blah for the rest of your life. And everything that else, can we now destroy and uncreate it all? Good, bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, eyes, short, boys, meals. Okay, I'm done. Okay, you put the money in the slot. I've talked. Now the money has run out. Actually, nobody fucking paid me. Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Can I have the money now, please? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, eyes, short, boys, and beyonds. And what if, by lowering your barriers and and removing your definitions of nature spirits and of yourself, that you could receive a different financial reality? And everything that doesn't allow that, can we now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, popcorn, eyes, short, boys, music. You wanna. I was on a body call with Gary the other day, and we were talking a lot about gold. So, it's like there's a particular vibration about gold, and you want to be starting. Woo! You want to be starting to play with some questions and energies around gold. Maybe even talk with the nature spirits about it. Maybe they know something. Probably not, though. Yeah, and you couldn't receive from them anyway. So why would you even bother asking the question? Yeah, actually, why don't you just pretend that this class has never happened, that you didn't receive any other possibility, that you're still a big pile of shit, and you have all your definitions in place, and you are in control, and you are also totally wrong, and you can never get it right. So much more fun, yeah? Keep that up, please. It really helps the planet. Not. Cool. So, everything that just brought up or let down, can you now destroy and uncreate it all? Good and bad, right, wrong, pop, corn, iron, short, boys and girls. All right, just a couple of thanks. I want to thank Fabio and Paula from Brazil. I've been working with them for like a couple of months now, and it's just so much ease, joy, and glory. They're amazing people. I want to thank I want to thank Iram too. I mean, I may have known her. I may have met her. I may have even kissed her, but I don't remember that. Oh dear. But she like yesterday. She went, "This sounds like fun. I'll translate it for you." Oh, okay, cool. And a whole bunch of people from India and Sherry from Canada, and all the translators that are doing it in other languages. I can't remember your names at the moment. But thank you so much for all of those people that got the word out. And if this has helped you in any way, please share it out on Facebook, or the social media that you enjoy. Because if we have 100 million people choosing to be undefined, what would happen with government? What would happen with consciousness? Could we create with the planet? And then it doesn't become just about poor, pitiful me. It becomes about creating a reality beyond the Trump reality, beyond all the control. And you are included in that. When you choose that, you and your body are included in that. It may get uncomfortable because there will always be new energies available to you, but it's also incredibly gifting to you, and you can change anything. Cool. Thank you all. Thank you all for hearing the call from the nature spirits, and hopefully I'll see you on a video or in a live class some stage, and maybe I get to kiss you all. How does it get any better than that? And what else is possible? Ciao for now.
Bye, Liam.
Bye.